When the Audi R8 first dropped, it wasn't just a German supercar, it was a statement.
This thing is phenomenal!
A mid-engine V10 masterpiece, the everyday supercar you could drive to work and that red line on the track.
Oh, God, it's good!
Oh, and I just bought one. But of course, I wanted to experience all of that on a bargain. So I had to purchase one of the worst ones out there that was badly damaged and had to be pushed off of a trailer. Sheesh. I'm speechless right now. I don't even know what to say. No screaming V10. No launch control. Just silence. Brand new, this car is worth $150,000, but of course, in Danny's fashion, this car is nothing like that. The front end, wrecked. The hood, crushed. But the weirdest part, it's what's missing. Why is the siren going off? I think we just won. I think we just won. I think we just won a supercar. I didn't know it at the time, but this auction listing was far too strange, which might be why I got it for such a cheap price, even cheaper than any other Audi R8 you would get at an auction. It says primary damage is all over, even though we can clearly tell it's a front end hit, and the rest of the car has been mysteriously taken apart or parted out for no apparent reason. Number 2, it says the car is a run and a drive, even though there's zero proof, no pictures and no videos of the car actually running. There's no evidence that this car ever even turned on at auction. And I'm not gonna lie, after spending so much money on my first ever supercar, that is what's getting my heart going. This thing needs to start today. Okay, maybe I got a little too excited. More information on the R8 has been revealed. After digging up online, like really digging up, I have found this car was previously at an auction and it didn't sell, it didn't meet the reserve. But what's weird is that at that auction, the car had all the parts on it. Headlight, full interior, the B pillars, everything was on the car. It really makes no sense. Why would they delist it from the auction just to take off parts and then relist it? It's going to sell for a way lower price because it looks extremely sketchy. Only an idiot would buy it now. Thankfully, we do have a key and I feel like Iron Man right now. So let's check out the interior of this car. This thing is crazy. Oh my gosh. The previous owner really took care of this car because these are custom stitched seats with a custom stitched full Alcantara roof that matches the seats. Obviously the B pillar, I mean the whole interior is Alcantara. Sitting in this car is so crazy. We're in a V10 R8, are you kidding me? R8 right there. And on the other side is this V10. We got the nice little screen. It is an R-tronic. I think that's the equivalent to Lamborghini's S-Gear, I think. I don't know, this is my first ever supercar, I know nothing. So how can I put it this way? This transmission isn't a manual, but it's also not a modern dual clutch either. The R-tronic is basically an automated manual. Think of it as a traditional 6-speed stick, but instead of you working the clutch, a robot does it for you. More carbon fiber. The trim for the door is also carbon fiber. Full leather dash, and that up there is also Alcantara. I can put the camera all the way up there. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe. Guys, I feel like this car has an exhaust, y'all. I don't know, but I don't think that's a stock exhaust. We'll dig more into that later, but if we come over here, honey, look at this thing. The V10 monster, and this engine bay, you can tell is dirty. I mean, I don't even know when's the last time this car got started. I don't even know if it starts. This is gonna be insane, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very nervous about this. Now the V10 monster identifies as a 5.2 liter V10, which is the same screaming architecture you'll find in a Lamborghini Gallardo, but you can see we do have the full carbon package, meaning the whole engine base carbon fiber, even all the way over there. Front bumper is absolutely cooked Reno'd. Look at this thing, but thankfully we do have it. We have all the sensors and expensive stuff. A bumper for this car is $3,000 to $4,000. That's some serious supercar tax. Here is where the damage gets serious, aside from the front bumper. The hood. This hood, I think it's unrepairable. I think we're gonna have to get another hood. A hood is like $3,000 to $4,000 as well. Absolutely insane. But everything that's in front of the tub right here is just absolutely destroyed. This, we're gonna need a whole new of this piece. I don't know how much that costs. This right here is, oh, yep, that's, oh God, okay. let's not do that. Here's where the damage gets a little scary. Going by what the auction marked, this is crashed in. They also marked this bracket, this hose. I never knew they marked hoses, but they marked this hose. And this whole bracket right here, they marked. I'm praying there's no inner damage in there, and it's just the bracket itself. Another mark is this here because the hood hinges pretty much moved back and destroyed the door. So we're gonna have to fix the door. So now we're here with a V10 R8 that we don't know if it has frame damage, if the engine runs. By the way, one of these engines costs as much as what I spent on this car. But we have a goal, we have a dream, and we have unlimited determination. Let's push the car inside and figure this out. It's crazy to me that not so long ago, we were pushing up the driveway in Audi S5. And now we're pushing up an Audi R8 V10. Funny enough, the same exact color as the S5, but this would not be possible without you guys. Clicking on the videos, liking the videos, commenting. Thank you so much. And by the way, all those parts that were ripped off the Audi at auction, thankfully we have all of them in a box. Should start off with what we have. I feel like someone was trying to steal this box and then they got caught. I believe this is for the air box. Obviously, we know what this is. Whole center console. R8 door trim. Both sun visors, which are Alcantara. Are you kidding me? That's one thing I've never had. Oh, look at this. A mirror, yes. The V10 engine cover, steering wheel airbag. And now, here's why I think people were trying to steal this and they got caught. Because looking back at the previous auction, this is a steering wheel that was on the car, not the one that's on right now. Air filter, carbon fiber shift knob. What? Carbon fiber, I think this is for the door. It looks like an interior piece to me. Don't know, but I do know one thing. We're saving a lot of money because we do have one of the headlights. Thank God this was not stolen. Oh my goodness, that would have been so bad. Why are all the struts taken off? I think the first things we need to do though, is put on the rear shocks. So this isn't even on properly. Oh boy, this is stuck in here. There we go. Okay. We can take this out of the way. And then this one down here. Boom, okay. Yes! Look at that, making progress. This is so dirty. I don't even want to look at any of this yet. Look at this mess. Oh my goodness. I was really curious about prices. Thankfully, Audi has a whole database where you can look at car parts and how much they cost, prices. The whole carbon quarter panel piece is $4,860 straight from Audi. Thankfully, we have those too. Now that I know it's $5 grand, I want to be way more nice to it. But unfortunately, as you can see right here, there's some really, really deep scratches. I don't know why they took all these parts from the car. It wasn't necessary. I don't know what they were trying to do at auction. But if you get a hold of this, you can sell it for at least half of that. It makes sense that we're trying to seal it, and it is a full carbon fiber piece. Check this out. Look at the back. Along with the car itself, these are all the parts that we received from auction, which actually totals to right over $15,000 of parts. An absolute blessing that we need because this was very expensive and my biggest investment ever. I need to keep this hood up somehow, so we gotta put the struts on. Boom, boom. First modification. Also, annoyingly enough, they ripped out the name of the company. Look at this, they only left collision. So if your name is Tyler F, and you work at a collision and you've seen this Audi R8, please reach out to me, email me, or if you know anything about this car, shoot me a message on Instagram. I would love to just find out more, maybe see some pictures, know why everything was taken off. That'll be really good information. I just saw a modification. This definitely does not look like stock suspension. Oh, what the heck? Is that a clamp to hold the spring in place? Because I know you tan these through a little Allen, so I guess for extra reinforcement. Never seen that before at all. Oh, what in the world? Now there's a line that goes from there, follows here, and goes into the top of this pump. What is that? I'm definitely going to dig into what that is in just a little bit. Now, yes, even though the R8 is absolutely amazing, we can't forget about those vehicles that simply just get us from point A to point B, and they're special in their own way. And for me, it simply has to be the Santa Fe. The amount of memories and car parts and trips I've went on this car is absolutely amazing. This is like the family car, Mama Z's car. Nothing special, nothing crazy, but today we're gonna give it a quick modification. What modification, you may ask? Well, Vantrue, today's sponsor, and their new Nexus 4 Pro S dash cam. You get a really nice camera for the rear that shoots in 2.5K. And you also get the dash cam that shoots 4K to the outside and to the inside of the cabin in 2.5K. And keep in mind, all these 3 cameras use the Starvis 2 technology. To install the dash cam is very simple. It actually goes connected to the mount through a little magnetic connection. And then you pretty much just 3M it to the windshield, and it actually looks really good. And as you can see, the camera shows all 3 channels. And talking about the rear, installing that one only took about 20 minutes. And with the little tool they give you, it makes it really easy to tuck the cable so you don't really see it. And something really important, it has to be mounted on the outside of the car. And when it comes to nighttime footage, this thing is top notch. The front, the in-cabin, and the rear. Really important you're able to see license plates. The daytime footage is also a dream, just absolutely awesome. You can see the license plates, little details, and well, that's all you need really. And another great thing is you can control the camera and everything through the app. Select footage, view back footage, and to go along with that, Vantrue also has parking mode activation. Meaning even when the car's off, it detects impact or motion and automatically starts recording. With that being said, thank you so much Vantrue for sponsoring today's video. Everything will be linked in the description. Don't wait till it's too late to install yours. So we have markings here, markings here. Okay, so this panel's bolted up, and there is markings here. I also do see some marks here. I'm thinking it's just slightly bent. Now this whole bar looks extremely straight to me, but there is a marking here. Now I feel it's just because it's a little bit bent. I think this needs to be twisted up just a slight bit, because in great news, so you can see the hit was right here, but this little impact piece pretty much absorbs everything, because check that out. In the middle section, the damage pretty much looks like it ended here. I mean, nothing here. Now the piece that obviously you can tell right off the bat is absolutely destroyed is this top piece up here, which is also part of, I guess you could say, the structural support of the car. But I just noticed this piece actually goes bolted onto the main piece, which is right here. Let's remove the tub and make sure there's no hidden damage. There's hidden damage. I'm gonna go cry. What the heck? We got invisible bolts, look at that. This is how you know we're working on a high-end car. The bolts that are keeping the frunk in place, the head of them are literally the fabric of the frunk. So you can't really tell at all it's bolts. That's pretty insane. I've never seen that. But once we get these 4 bad boys out, we should be able to just remove the trunk and see if there's any hidden damage. Because we have to keep in mind the whole front tub of this car is aluminum, meaning any damage is going to be much harder to fix than if it was regular metal. That's so easy. We broke plugs in the S5, so we didn't have to do it with an R8. Boom. All right, R8 tub is off. And then I saw something I truly was not expecting. Frame rail looks as straight as it gets. Look at that. I'm no mathematician, but that's a straight line. Thank you, Lord. Okay. I was honestly fully expecting this car to have some serious hidden damage, especially because of the price we got it for. But if we already found all of the damage and the car starts and drives, this is going to be unheard of. I already do see an issue, but I kind of already noticed it. This is pushed back a little more than that side. Just a little more though. I know that it's aluminum and we have to be very careful, but I think we can figure this out. I really do. But the biggest issue would have been this leg right here or this leg, and wow, perfect. But this whole piece out here, we do have to replace. So we got to get part numbers and look up how much this costs. This is working fine, so I don't even think we need to get this. Obviously, this hood is absolutely cooked, but somehow things just kept getting better. Guys, things just keep getting better. So that coilover setup, I knew it looked similar. It is a KW coilover setup. Wait though, it is the version 4 that is worth $8,000. I mean, are you kidding me? 8.7K for a coilover set? That is nuts. I believe that's hydraulic fluid. I don't know how the system works just yet. I'm gonna find out and I'm gonna tell you guys about it, but $8,500, that is... Yeah, that's amazing. This is going to be the best driving car ever, if it drives. But here's what I believe they did. So Audi R8s come with something called magnetic ride. The shocks are filled with special fluid and electromagnetics to instantly stiffen or soften the suspension, which is awesome, but over time these tend to go really bad, and when they do, it absolutely sucks. So the previous owner, I guess, had a lot of moolah and bought single-handedly probably the best coilovers you can put on this car. Wow, that's amazing. And I'm waiting to get on a call with someone that knows a lot more about R8s than I do, to kind of guide me on this, and then we can continue. And funny enough, it wasn't long until I fully realized this car really is a Lamborghini. This is definitely part of the AC system, but as you can see, Lamborghini. Windshield washer reservoir, Lamborghini. Unfortunately, the tub is a little damaged now. The damage is so little and no one's ever gonna see it, where I'm literally debating whether I need a whole new tub or this is gonna be fine like that, because I mean, this rubber piece goes over just like that and you can't tell. Quickly just found one on eBay. Jeez, $1,500 and then $300 shipping, so that's $1,800 for this. I don't know, because everything inside is pretty perfect. This feels like Christmas. I just found another piece that I can't believe I completely forgot about it. The full radiator stack for that side. So this one is punctured on the AC condenser, but I think the rest of the radiator might be okay. Oh, actually, I don't think that's deep at all. We can definitely straighten this out. As you know, on the M3, we actually had a punctured heat exchanger that there was coolant leaking out of it. So I know what punctured looks like. That looks fine. And I honestly think the radiator shroud or scoop saved a lot of the hit, because this is pretty hard plastic. That's actually awesome. Here's another computer. I love these massive scoops though. You get those intakes right from here into here and right out to where the intake box is, and it gets nice cold air right into the engine. I mean, the mechanism for these cars is absolutely beautiful. And funny enough, Papa Z was dying to check out the car and he absolutely loves it. And in great spirit, he does believe the car should start. So I'm really hoping Papa Z is right. I can't believe I missed this, but there's a whole red power wire sitting right on top of the battery. And when we go inside of the car, it's sitting right behind the seat, right next to kind of where the amperage and the sound system for this car is. I guess it might have had like an aftermarket amp. They saw it, they took it, and they just left it how it is, because that's not OEM at all. Even though they did a great job, that is not OEM. And to just be 100% sure, I did ask Ricky from RE Performance, and he indeed confirmed that wire is not OEM, which makes things extremely sketchy. But we're gonna clear some things up because I just received the Carfax. Here we go. Wow, first owner was actually a corporate fleet vehicle. Wait, that is so cool, and it was back in 2011. Does that mean this is one of those cars where they take to like the auto shows and things like that when it just comes out? That is epic. Are you kidding me? Now here it says that Audi Verrietta, it had the cowl and firewall panel resealed. I do know there's a theory or a myth that these cars crack right around here. Very weird. I mean, that does look like new seam sealer right there. So that's really strange. I wonder if, since it was a dealership vehicle, out of precaution, they just sealed that off. And the fact that a dealership did it makes it even better. Okay, now we're getting a better view as to what this car was. A press vehicle and some really good maintenance done to it. But here's where things take a turn. 2019, the vehicle had a minor front end collision. Airbags were not deployed. AC compressor was also replaced and the AC refrigerant was also recharged. But it was inspected in the front by True 360 and there's a link. There's no way we're gonna find this car. This is the car! Oh my gosh! No way! This is what the R8 looked like when it went in for inspection after its first crash, which obviously makes sense that it was inspected. That is so cool. If you know who's owned this car at that time or you know anything about this R8, please reach out to me. That is awesome. And it did get a 95% cosmetic score, I think. So that's pretty good. After the vehicle was purchased, there isn't a single record in the Carfax until now, 60,000 miles that it was crashed. So from 17,000 miles to now, there's no history of this car. So I definitely want to do every single piece of maintenance, which makes it so exciting, but that's crazy. What do you guys think about the gold wheels though? I don't know, it's not my taste. Even though it's pretty terrible, this car has not had a Carfax report since 2019. For some reason, after looking at the Carfax, I feel better about it starting up and working properly. So let's go ahead and start charging the battery and go from there. Yeah, that's not even recognizing there's a battery there. So with that knowledge, here's the plan. I'm gonna jump it so it recognizes the battery and it keeps it charged or it starts charging it. And then we'll go from there. But unfortunately, the jumper didn't want to jump the car. It just beeped constantly. Oh, it doesn't even let me. What does that mean? And what's really weird is this is an older battery, right? The booster gives me the green light for this battery, but not the one in the R8. So let's test the voltage because I did read if the battery is under 3 voltage, it won't even try to jump the battery. It'll just beep. And yep, that's pretty much our issue. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take the battery of another Audi in the fleet, and let's try that. But obviously in a little bit because it's not here yet. So we'll wait for that. Let's start removing everything up front, but I'm hoping it's just a battery issue and not a serious electrical issue. Now, the good thing about having pieces like this to remove myself, I have the hardware. Everything else, I don't have the hardware. So I don't know how I'm gonna put back a lot of the panels. Boom. All right. It's awesome. It's all one piece. If you told me a couple years ago, even a couple months ago, that we would be working on an Audi R8, I would be laughing. Me working on a V10 R8, that's ridiculous. I mean, I'm gonna be completely vulnerable. When I first started this channel, my first ever quote-unquote project car was a twin-turbo 300ZX. The car cost $3,600 and it was absolutely trash. The only way I was able to afford it was because my now wife and then girlfriend, Christabel, lent me the money, and well, that's how I was able to purchase it. Here we go. Second one out. The final hood latch cable we have to disconnect is actually the most important one that comes from the inside of the car through the firewall right into the hood latch mechanism. If the R8 ever dies, it's a manual latch that we can pull and pop up the hood. Unfortunately, it was not being nice to us and it was an extreme pain to take off. Got the messed up piece completely off. Now, I struggled a ton with this latch. I don't know why they marked it with an X. It looks really good to me. I can see how it's a little crooked in the end, but I mean, that's not bad. Now this thing, there's a bunch of pieces. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's like 8 or 10 pieces to just this thing. So I'm hoping you're gonna find the whole thing so I don't have to look at part numbers and whatnot. Next up, we're gonna take off the hood, but I could not wait. If this car has $9,000 in suspension, it has to have an exhaust. It just has to. So I'm gonna try my best to like fish a little camera in here. That does not look factory. I think that does not look factory, does it? I don't think so. I think that's an exhaust. 100% that's an aftermarket exhaust. 100%. Pretty sure there's supposed to be like a massive muffler in the middle, and there isn't. I think we have an exhaust, y'all. Can things get any better? We took such a massive gamble with this Audi R8, and so far things are looking a little too promising. But before I fully celebrate, we have to talk to a great individual and one of the best rebuild channels on YouTube. Like when I'm working on an R8 with body damage, there's only one person I can think of to call. Jack builds it, an absolute legend in the game with way too many years of experience, and he has been part of the biggest rebuilds on YouTube. And if I desperately need R8 advice and guidance, it might as well be from the best in the game. Does this hood, can that be fixed?
No, that's got to be replaced. It's an aluminum hood, they riveted together with glue and all that, and that one's separated, so.
That's terrible. All right, so we need a hood, definitely pricey. This side right here, what do you think about this? It is slightly bent.
That is not bad at all, but it is slightly in, right? So
yeah, the top side.
The trick to fixing them. So basically what you're going to do you have a map gas, like a torch, where like you can like heat it up a little bit?
I don't, but I can get one.
What you do is you take a floor jack and you put it between the tire and that front bar, like right at the top. Yeah, right there. And then you kind of press it out a little bit, like opening it up. Once you open it up, you heat that top bar at the part where you see where it connects to the frame rail. Okay. And that way you can get it to move out a little bit and it kind of flexes itself out. You can find on eBay. I know they're on eBay, but I'm pretty sure they're pretty pricey. They're like around $500 a piece. Probably. Which that one, much, man. I'm telling you, like, bend it back and you should be good.
Massive thank you to Jack for all his wisdom on and off camera. Great guy. But before we try to fix this, we have to see if the car starts. We need to make sure it starts and that it sounds proper, and then we can go from there, y'all. I'm so excited. Even he said, if this car starts and this is the only damage for 30 grand, this is unheard of. So here we go. Let's go get the battery. Thankfully, we have another Audi in the fleet, and I believe they use the same exact battery. Now, what happened to the Audi S5? It's a long story for another day. For now, let's focus on the R8. I really forgot how tucked away all these Audi batteries are. Heaviest battery of all time. All we need is the key. Thankfully, we did get from auction. Also, isn't this the lamest key you've ever seen? Are you kidding me? The Audi S5 has cooler keys than this. I'm really praying that the battery's just shot. Dang. Okay, here we go. I'm pretty much just looking to see any form of life when we connect this battery to the car. Please, Lord, help us. Okay, I definitely heard something, but it seems like the car is still asleep, so I can't celebrate just yet. Oh, the cluster's on. I just heard the ECU prime. Are you kidding me? Oh, the headlight beam is working. I hear this priming. 60,873 miles. Oh my gosh, this car has life, y'all. It has been months. This car has been sitting, rotting away at an auction for months. Everything is happening so fast. Okay, battery's on. I checked the dipstick. This car actually has a dipstick. There's oil in the separation tank, or you call it a... I'm so nervous I can't even think about it. This thing right here, I'll explain what that is later, but here we go, y'all. There's oil in the car. It's getting powered. There's life to this car. Did we get scammed, or is this worth it? This might be the most nervous I've ever been for a first startup, especially when I invested so much into this very moment. Oh. Oh my gosh. I don't know what happened. I think it's because we're in first gear. How can I put her in auto? To start select gear parking brake. I can't put her in auto. That cold start was insane. I don't know how to put this car into park. Let's see. I'm just gonna start it. Holy crap! It idled extremely rough, I think because the intakes are off. There's really nothing on this car. We can indeed confirm there's an exhaust. Whether it is a straight pipe or an actual exhaust, I can't confirm. But I can say this is the greatest, most insane sounding car I've ever owned. Wow. Now, I think it didn't idle right because there's the intakes are missing as well as the map sensors. So that might be why it idled so roughly. But oh my gosh, the car started. There's no way. I'm freaking out. I'm thinking let's put the intakes on. I really want to clean this engine bay, clean the front end, and then get a proper startup. It just started pouring. But hold on, did we just fix an R8 with an S5? That's insane to me. It was just the battery. It doesn't make any sense that they put run and drive, yet they never did it at the auction. I don't understand that, but maybe they just didn't want the extra money, but whoever made this listing should kind of be fired because I probably saved between $15,000 and $20,000 buying this car just because it didn't show proof of it running or driving. But these engine bay pieces really need to be cleaned up. These things have been thrown around in the floor, what looks like a dried lake bed, inside random boxes. We have to take care of it. And that's exactly why sometimes you have to risk it. That's exactly why this car went for so cheap. Wow. I'm shocked. I'm shocked right now. Jeez. That cleaned up nice. Oh yeah, you cannot tell me that isn't brand new. I mean, come on. Also, if you're watching right now and you have not yet subscribed, I'm not sure what you're doing, but you just have to. Support the channel. I want to pull this off too. Oh, I just scratched that up. Damn it. There we go. Jeez. The amount of filth in this engine bay should actually be illegal. Wow. I'm kind of seeing how it's going to be like doing maintenance on this car. I really don't quite know how we're going to get all the way to the final coil pack on this side. This is going to be a challenge for sure, but we do have to do all the maintenance. We'll figure that out when we get there. Oh man, are you kidding me? A V10, it's alive! It's alive! I mean, look at this. We can't even tell if the pieces are carbon fiber. So sad. I truly feel like we rescued the R8. But obviously, we don't know if it's running properly yet. And now we have to do the big job. We need to make this engine bay look like brand new back in 2012 when this car was first sold to the dealership. Is that gonna be possible? Probably not, but then again, we're gonna try our best. I have a bottle with soap and water. I have a nice little brush. We got some nice clean towels. We should be just fine. Cleaning is not that complicated. But what is complicated is to once again wrap my head around the fact that we're now cleaning the engine bay of a V10 Audi R8 that starts. I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous. I want everybody right now that's watching, pause the video, comment below your dream car. Here's a picture I found in my camera roll from 2015 of an Audi R8, and I captioned it saying, my car. Obviously, it was an absolute joke, but it's insane to see that 10 years later, we own one. This is like the most satisfying thing of all time. Look at this, look at this. Clean R8, baby. And yes, we're cleaning all the reservoirs and the reservoir caps. I've never in my life done this, but I'm just so excited to perfect this car. It's hard to explain. Most importantly, we do have to make sure this airbox is squeaky clean, because I'm pretty sure when everything's sealed off and the car's breathing in like crazy, there's a full-on tornado in here, and the last thing we want is all this dirt, rocks, and nasty stuff going into our beautiful 5.2 liter V10. There we go. Boom. And these are actually like, I don't know what you would call these bolts, but they just twist in. It's not actually like you're not threading it in, it just kind of clicks into place. It's weird, I don't know how to explain it. So typically you would just do like half a turn, right? Boom, and that's how it threads in. This is so cool, look at that. And before you ask, yes, I'm holding up the hatch with a $2 broom that's rusted from Dollar Tree. Because I need two hands to put this on. These pieces are a pain. There we go. We just need two hands. That already looks a million times better. Time for the intakes. Now, I'm pretty sure it does not matter which side goes where. I may be extremely wrong. And I always wondered, why do R8 filters look weird? Well, the filter's actually under this little fluffy piece. And, oof, that's dirty. Yeah, we're definitely getting new filters. The filter slides right into there. And there's a whole guide in the front for the filter, and you button it down there. Insane. Now, unfortunately, I don't have that hardware, but for now, we're gonna be, I think it'll be okay. Now we can tighten down the intake and connect the MAP sensors. This should allow the car to idle perfectly. If it doesn't, well, that's a story for a different day. Oh no, no, I dropped it. No. That's life. We all need to take an L from time to time. For me, it's a couple L's. Ooh, the stock airbox goes in. Jeez, that looks good. Oh, that's all scratched up. No. Whoever took this car apart at auction, oh man, I'm never gonna forgive you. I mean, I will, because you gave it to me in a cheaper price, but also won't. We're still missing one piece though. The V10 engine cover, look at that. Boom. The engine bay so clean, we can eat off of it. But on a serious note, this looks amazing, and that means it is time. Time to get a proper startup on this car, get the wife's reaction. Unfortunately, we can't run it for too long since there's no coolant in the system, but still. I don't even think they know how you feel. What do you think about this?
I can't believe I'm in this presence, first of all. I've never seen this in real life.
Do you want to start it?
Yes.
All right. I want to hear it from the outside too.
Are you ready?
No.
Are you ready, Patrick?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
The wife is extremely excited to start this car up.
You ready?
Yep. Kidding me? That's insane. The whole neighborhood just came out.
It's louder than an airplane.
Okay, so that was why it wasn't idling perfect. I mean, that cold start and idle was amazing. So now we're good to continue. This is probably the only time we're ever going to see the R8 with the front end exposed like this. So I figured now's the perfect time to pretty much just power wash everything. Really just clean everything up, because I'm sure this has never been done since the car was assembled back in 2011 or 2012. And we can say that we hand cleaned the inner structure of our Audi R8. I think that sounds pretty cool. I don't know. And now we can properly see our $9,000 suspension. It's all squeaky clean. And look at that, we can have the main course meal in the engine bay, and then in the front tub we can eat our dessert because it's also squeaky clean. Oh, this looks amazing. But now that everything's fully clean, I do want to take Jack's advice into action, and let's try to bend back the intercooler structure. Step one is we have to go get that map torch that he talked about because I don't have one. And of course, we're taking the M3. I did go to the wrong store at first. I thought it was Advanced Auto Parts, but it wasn't there. So we had to go to Ace Hardware. And after looking around for a little bit, we found it. So it is time to go back home. I am beyond nervous. Just so we're all on the same page, the goal here is to not burn down the R8. So right now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna measure this side and that side, figure out how to really bend this forward. This is the measurement I got from the other side, and when putting it up, we can see that this bracket is pretty pushed in. I mean, it's not terrible because it's not touching the wheel, but it is pretty close to the wheel, so we're gonna have to push it forward a good amount. And unfortunately, my jack is too big to fit in between the bracket and the wheel, so we're gonna have to go a different route. Laying around, I do have this hydraulic pusher or puller, which should work just as good, if not better. But we need to be very careful because we don't want to overdo it. I really don't want to snap anything, so I'm trying my best to heat up everything evenly, give the frame pusher a few pumps, and continue to check up on exactly what's going on at the same time. And it's crazy how real time we can see it just really expand back into its place where it needs to be. We're almost there, but I think a few more pumps of the cylinder and the bracket's gonna be right back in place where it needs to be. And voila. Not only are the measurements lining up really good, the fisting method is also working properly. And most importantly, we did not damage any of the aluminum welds. Everything's still intact, right in place, nothing is cracked. So that's a massive W, y'all. I think we just might have saved over $500. So that is bent forward. Now we're gonna have to wait until we put on the full radiator assembly for that side, bolt everything up, put the fender liner on, and then we're gonna know if we need to be pushed back out a little more or not, which we're gonna say in the next video because I'm already ordering stuff. That was exciting. I think now that we know that we were almost scammed, but this car is legit, runs, hopefully drives. We'll see in the next video. It's time to make it look pretty, y'all. It would be absolutely brutal of me to not throw on at least one of the carbon fiber side blades. These three slide in and then we bolt it up through the top and bottom. So we just gotta make sure we are able to slide it in though. Okay, so that's in place. What about the bottom? Better easier said than done. This thing has been off the car for so long, it refuses to get back into where it needs to be. I mean, impossible to throw on. I do believe it's because there's little O-rings where it slides into, and they've just hardened over time. Oh, I think I got it. I think I got it. Nope, never mind. So let's grease him up a little bit. Talking about things I've had for a long time, I've also had this Valvoline grease since I started working on cars years ago. Let's put on the O-rings. I think it's just getting stuck. The O-rings aren't being cooperative. And thankfully our theory was right. The O-rings just did not want to slide into where they needed to be. As soon as we greased them up nicely, it slid right into place, and this thing looks amazing. There we go. Got it. And the final thing to keep it in place is we have to bolt it up through here. Now, I don't have any of the hardware, so I'm gonna look up online the bolt that it takes, and I think I have it. So, well, at least I'm hoping I do. Look at that. That's looking like a proper R8 now. Let's go. And I love the vents right here. Show you guys. Air goes into here and right directly into the intake system. This thing is amazing. Remember the little fitting I said looked like a fuel line? Well, it's actually for this. Thank God. And then we do have a plug that needs to be connected. And then I don't know where this goes actually. Thankfully, we figured out the other side just needed a little bit of grease, so we did the same with this side, and it went into place like a glove. This R8 is really one step closer to being a true R8, even though we still don't know if it drives, but that's a story for another day. Side number 2 is in. This thing is awesome. I don't even know what to say about this, and I think the gas cap should... How does this work? May be broken, or... the car just needs battery. That might be it. With that being said though, this thing looks beautiful, and what an insane W. This video was a roller coaster. Wow, what started as the biggest risk of my life, a sketchy, weird auction car with more questions than answers, has turned into what I believe is a massive win. Even though I still have a lot of questions, the mystery is definitely unfolding, and now we have a much clearer picture of this R8. We're honestly one step closer to fully getting it back together and finally back on the road. What an absolute blessing. See you guys in part 2, which is gonna be crazy. That's crazy.